The UPSC EPFO exam is an offline pen-paper exam. This video provides a deep analysis of the exam, offering strategies for success even for working professionals. If you are starting or currently preparing, this video is highly important. Following the advice in this video gives you a 99% chance of qualifying. The exam is offered in both Hindi and English. There is 1/3 negative marking, with each question carrying 2.5 marks. The exam is a single selection stage. There is nothing else involved in the selection process. Exam structure and timeline. The exam date is November 30th. As of August 14th, there is sufficient time for preparation. The plan is to complete all material by November 1st to 10th, 2025. The exam consists of 120 questions, and candidates will have 120 minutes, 2 hours to complete it, meaning 1 minute per question. The total marks for the paper are 300. To qualify, only 1 to 1.5 months of dedicated effort are required. This exam is considered easy. You can qualify even by giving 70% effort. 5-step process for qualification: PYQ analysis, previous year questions analysis, mock tests, long-term planning, short-term goals, real strategy, real magic. Syllabus overview. Understanding the syllabus and what the paper demands is crucial. The new pattern syllabus includes General English, to evaluate candidates' understanding of the English language and workmanlike use of words. This includes topics like adjectives, prepositions, and error spotting. Indian culture, heritage, and freedom movements. Developmental issues and present trends in Indian economy. Governance and Constitution of India. General science and basic knowledge of computer applications. Elementary mathematics, statistics, and general mental ability. Industrial relations, labor laws, and social security in India. Principles of accountancy, auditing, and insurance. Current events of national and international importance. Current affairs. Question distribution and emerging trends. The UPSC EPFO exam consists of 120 questions for 300 marks. Let's look at the average number of questions asked per year from different sections. General English, 24 questions on average. In 2023, 25 questions were asked. In 2021, 22 questions. And in 2019, 24 questions. Specific topics within English: synonyms, 5 questions, error spotting, 4 questions, comprehension, 10 questions. Comprehension is described as literally halwa, very easy. Many teachers provide free content for error spotting and synonyms on YouTube. Labor laws and industrial relations, 18 questions on average, with variations, for example, 22, 15, 17 questions. It is not necessary to read the entire book like a donkey. Focus on key acts like EPFO Act, Idaho Act, Factories Act. Accountancy, 17 questions on average, with variations, for example, 16, 18, 19 questions. Accountancy and labor laws, industrial relations are the game changers. If you don't master them, crossing the cutoff will be difficult. These two sections combined account for approximately 35 questions. People often find accountancy tough, but a specific PDF can cover everything, and it's not a 600-page document. Indian freedom struggle, 12 questions on average annually, focusing on the Gandhian era and the revolt of 1857. These questions are generally easy. Quantitative aptitude, 15 questions on average. Note, the source also states 49 in 2023, 69 in 2021, and 39 in 2019, indicating variation and gap years in the exam. General science. This is an easy section. It involves reading solutions and NCERTs. A summary of 6th to 10th grade NCERTs in very few pages is available. Computer knowledge, described as a little bit tough, asking technical questions rather than basic ones, for example, not brain of the computer. However, available notes contain all necessary information. Social security focuses on schemes like EPS, EPF, EDLI, PM Yojanas, with an average of 6 questions per year. Current affairs, always important. Emerging trend analysis, understanding the graph. Labor laws and industrial relations account for 18% of the questions, making it the most important section. The trend shows an increase in labor law questions, 17 in 2019, 22 in 2023, due to new labor codes. Your major focus should be on preparing labor laws thoroughly. General English, second most important, with 16% of the questions. Accountancy, quantitative aptitude, freedom struggle, current affairs, general science, computer, social security follow in decreasing order of importance. Computer knowledge. Questions have increased from 6 to 10 due to a focus on digital India. Current affairs. Questions have increased from 8 before 2020 to 12 after COVID-19. It is predicted that this time, 14 questions could be asked. Freedom struggle. Questions have decreased from 11 to 10, often replaced by current affairs. However, it is still an easy section and must be studied. 2023 question distribution, EO/AO versus APFC. General English, 20 questions in both papers, highest weightage. Quant and reasoning, 15 questions. Computer 9, 10 questions. Accountancy, 10 questions in EO/AO, 15 in APFC, 50% more weightage in APFC. Labor laws and industrial relations, 21 questions in EO/AO, 14 in APFC, slightly down in APFC. General science, 10 questions. History and culture, 10 questions. Current affairs, 8 questions in both. Indian polity, 9 questions. Indian polity, economics and social security are the easiest topics. 2025 paper prediction, logic and data-based. This prediction is purely logical and data-based. General English, 22 questions. Focus on synonyms, prepositions, comprehension, error spotting. These 4 topics must be mastered. Indian culture, heritage, freedom struggle movement, 15 questions. Topics include Gandhian era, labor movements, art reform, and revolt of 1857. Refer to spectrum for this. Developmental economy, 12 questions. Focus on NITI Aayog reports, poverty, schemes, SDG, economic survey, and budget summary. Economic survey and budget summary are sufficient. Material for these is available on the Clear Vision for UPSC Telegram channel. Governance and Constitution, 10 questions. Topics, fundamental rights, DPSP, labor-related articles, 43. Any historical movement or law related to labor is likely to be asked. Science and computers, 12 questions as their role is increasing. Topics, human health, IT Act 2000, OS basics. Mathematics, statistics, mental ability, 16 questions. Topics, percentage, data interpretation, logical sequence. No need for specific books. YouTube teachers can provide excellent preparation. Industrial relations and labor laws, 20 questions. This is the game changer and the main focus area. Accountancy, auditing, and insurance, 15 questions. These 3, along with industrial relations and labor laws, will account for the highest number of questions. Current affairs, 12 questions and will be easy. The paper is generally easy. It becomes tough only if you lack a proper strategy. Strategic takeaways. Master labor laws plus English to secure 41 marks. For APFC aspirants, the accountancy plus quant combo accounts for over 30 marks. English plus current affairs are universal yield areas, relevant for both exams. Low return areas such as Indian economy and population studies can be deprioritized. Reason: these areas require significant input for less output, whereas high-yield topics require less input for greater output. Do not leave them entirely, but prioritize high-yield topics first. If time permits, cover the low-yield topics as they are generally very easy. Detailed previous year questions, PYQ, analysis. GS paper, a total of 52 questions came from GS subjects. English, 20 questions. Polity, 9 questions. Economy, 2 questions. Art and culture, 8 questions. Modern history, 2 questions. Environment, 4 questions. Current affairs, 5 questions. Random GS, 2 questions. Quantitative and analytical, 15 questions. Total from GS and Quant, 67 questions. Professional subjects, these are the main core and should not be left. A total of 34 questions came from these. Labor laws, 7 questions. Industrial relations, 5 questions. Social security, 5 questions. Accounts, 12 questions from accounts alone. Audit, 2 questions. Insurance, population, human development, globalization, 1 question. Combined, these 3 categories, GS, Quant, professional subjects, cover almost 103 questions, with others making up the remaining 120. Difficulty breakdown by topic. Labor laws, social security, industrial relations, 17 questions. Labor laws, 5 conceptual, doable, 1 random, moderate, 1 numerical, moderate to difficult. Industrial relations, 4 practical based, easy, 1 theoretical, easy, 2 theoretical, difficult. Social security, 2 theoretical, difficult. Conclusion: you can expect to answer 15 questions correctly from this section. It must be prepared well. English section, word meaning, 5 questions. Contextual usage, 1 question. Passage, 5 questions from 500 words, were all easy. Idioms and proverbs were also present. Conclusion: this section cannot be skipped and must be done. Mathematics, mensuration, 2 questions. Moderate, circle geometry, probability, 1 question. Moderate to difficult conceptual. Quadratic equation, 1 question. Theoretical, age problems, allegations, data interpretation, averages, distance, reasoning were easy. Only 1. 2 questions were difficult. Conclusion: do not skip maths. Accounts, 12 questions. Basic principles, 3 questions, easy, numerical. Inventory, LIFO, 2 questions, easy. Types of accounts, 2 questions, moderate/difficult/very conceptual. You might not be able to do these. Capital expenditure, conceptual. Revenue recognition, 1 question. Accounting standards, 2 questions, were moderate. Conclusion. Moderate level questions require a strong command over easy level questions. Miscellaneous subjects. Audit, 2 questions, easy. Finance, easy. Development, easy. Globalization, easy. General science, often feared but is easy here. Physics, lens and optics, easy. Motion, easy. Energy concepts, easy. Numerical, focal length, speed distance. Theory forms of energy. Chemistry, soap and detergents, factual. Chemical reactions, basic. Biology, human eye anatomy, life processes. Computer, IP addressing, binary decimal conversion. Conclusion, easy. You can get 8 out of 10 questions correct, which will help you win the exam with flying colors. High yield versus low yield topics, crucial page. This section helps in deciding what to prioritize. High priority, 100 plus questions. English, accounts, computer, labor laws, polity, maths, science. Low priority, audit, insurance, population status, globalization, economy, strategy. Do not leave the low priority topics entirely. First, gain command over the high priority topics. If time permits, then tackle the low priority ones, as they often contain very easy questions, around 10 questions. The key is that high priority topics offer high outcome for less input, while low priority topics require more input for less outcome. Key takeaways and 7-point strategy for guaranteed success. Priority order for study. First, labor laws. Second, English. Third, mathematics. Fourth, accountancy. Fifth, current affairs. General studies, GS material. Polity notes, 120 pages. Geography notes, 100 pages. Economics notes, 19 pages. History notes, 19 pages. For modern Indian history, refer to Spectrum. Current affairs focus. Concentrate on the last 12 months of Labor Ministry initiatives and ILO reports on Social Security. Time allocation, working professionals, 2 hours per day. 1 hour, labor laws, 30 minutes. Maths, 30 minutes, current affairs. Full-time students, 5 hours per day. 2 hours, labor accountancy. 1 hour, maths. 1 hour, English. 1 hour, current affairs. Important note, maths and English are games of practice. Without consistent practice, qualifying the exam is unlikely. Book list. There is no need to change existing book lists. Focus on high-value topics. EPFO Act, Section 6, 7, 10 plus questions expected. GST on services, accountancy, Niti Aayog, SDG India Index. Low yield areas. For ancient culture, focus only on labor heritage. For advanced statistics, basic mean, median are sufficient. Preparation mindset. When preparing, approach any content by asking if it is labor-related. This will help you cover many relevant topics in the syllabus. Exam tactics. When attempting the paper for the first time, solve English first, then labor laws, and then maths. Sections should be time-bound. Leave abstract reasoning questions that are very time-consuming for the end. Sample easy. Previous year questions. Which part of I controls light entry? What is the binary equivalent of 25? Saponification involves minimum employee threshold for mandatory EPF registration, 20. UPSC EPFO cutoffs, reference. General category, EO/AO return, 138. EO/AO final, 212. APFC return, 170.8. OBC cutoffs are similar to general, C, 123. ST, 120. EWS cutoffs are similar to general. Always target the general category cutoff. For example, 140 marks. If you aim for a lower category cutoff, you are likely to score 10 marks less than that target. Your mindset should always be to achieve the higher cutoff to ensure selection.